What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to take you guys through the steps to make the perfect meal plan for you, as well as an example at the end, so you can kind of see basically how I would take those steps and actually apply them to a certain situation. So first things we're going to go through is basically going over calories, protein, fats, how many meals per day, stuff like that. So just follow along. I'll pop up a whole bunch of stuff right here that basically be text and examples and stuff like that as we go through things. But first thing we're going to do is go ahead and determine our calories. So whether you want to be in a cut, you want to be in a bulk, or you want to be at maintenance, you need to figure out how many calories you need to eat to sustain that goal, or I guess sustain your current body weight. So typically what I recommend is just go online to the TDEE calculator, enter your information. It's going to ask for, let me see, your height, your weight, your age, and if you know your activity level, I typically recommend people put lightly active, because unless you have a labor-intensive job where you're maybe a mailman, you work on construction, you're doing something where your job is actually demanding work of you, like 8+ hours a day, you're probably lightly active even if you work out like 3 or 4 times a week. So go ahead and put lightly active, and then if you do know about how much your body fat percentage is, sometimes that can help with the accuracy. Once again, this is just going to give us a good starting point. And then, so when you have your maintenance calories, you can actually click maybe bulk or cut. But typically I say find your maintenance. If you want to go into a cut, go ahead and go 500 calories below that. If you want to go into a bulk, I would say anywhere from 200 to 300 calories above that. So that's going to give you your calorie amount that you want to have on a daily basis. Next, we'll go ahead and dive into our protein. And when it comes to protein, our goal is going to be 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And I think this comes out to be, what would that be? Maybe like 2 grams per kilogram, something like that. But the big thing here is if you are extremely overweight, extremely obese, I would say maybe 20% body fat or higher, you probably don't need 1 gram per pound of body weight. Maybe you go ahead and go with your goal body weight. So let's say you're 250 pounds and you probably should be around 200 pounds. Don't eat 200 grams of protein, or don't eat 250 grams of protein. You can probably get away with eating anywhere between maybe 180 to 200 grams, because you have so much excessive body fat, where the lean protein should actually be based on, or the protein goal should actually be based on your lean muscle mass, not so much as your overall body weight. The next thing we're going to go into is our fat. So in terms of our fat is essential for our body's hormone production, hormone balance, nutrition absorption. So a big thing there is we don't want to just eliminate fat completely. I think a common misconception is people think, oh, less fat, I will lose more fat if I don't intake fat. Well, that's not really the case. It's more of the calorie and energy balance. And in terms of fat, I'd recommend anywhere from probably about 0.2 to 0.25 grams per pound of body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you multiply that by 0.25, that's gonna be 50 grams of fat is kind of like the minimum threshold. Once again, that changes person to person, but I would say in general, but anywhere between 30 to 40 grams should be the minimum in terms of hitting your daily fat in grams. Okay, so now we basically have our big kind of outlines, right? We have our total calories for the day, we have our minimum protein intake or our protein goal, our minimum fat, and then basically what we're gonna do is fill in the rest of our calories with carbs. So we have our protein, we have our fats, now we get to fill in the rest of the calories with our carbs. If you do exceed your minimum fat and your minimum protein goals, that is also completely okay. Your carbs will just come down a little bit, and then you'll go ahead and see, okay, what is your eating style, your preferences, stuff like that. But now that we have our goals, or kind of like our calorie goal as well as some of our minimums, now I want to go ahead and break it down into how many meals or snacks are we going to have per day. And this is different for everybody. Some people like to eat 2 meals a day. Some people like to eat 5 meals a day. So whatever is your preference and whatever you enjoy, go with that. So I would say typically most people go with a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then maybe throw a snack in there. So that's kind of one of my examples going to be at the end of this video. But once again, if you want to have 5 meals a day, if you want to have 2 meals a day, if you're once again extremely busy, you aren't too hungry in the morning, you have a big lunch and a big dinner, go for it. The big thing there is we want to take our total meals and basically our snacks, and then divide our protein goal into those feedings. So once again, in this case, we're gonna go with 4 meals. We're gonna 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 1 snack. And then we're gonna divide our protein into those different meals. So if we know we're gonna have 4 different meals, once again, I'm gonna say 3 meals and 1 snack, we're gonna call it 4 different protein servings, we're gonna take our goal. And once again, depending on how much you weigh, let's say you weigh around 180 pounds, but your goal is to get down to 160, you can probably get away with 160 grams of protein. So if your goal is 160 grams of protein and you have 4 meals, you know that you need around 40 grams of protein per meal to hit your goal of 160 grams of protein per day. And as far as some protein sources go, I'll read off a few that I kind of have here on one of my lists for my clients. Is chicken breast is 6 ounces raw, is about 165 calories and 36 grams of protein. You could have salmon, which about 6 ounces raw is 310 calories and 34 grams of protein. You could use shrimp, which at 9 ounces raw is about 180 calories and 35 grams of protein. And there's other things like deli turkey, chicken sausage, whole eggs, turkey bacon, Greek yogurts, protein powders, ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken. There's so many options out there, but basically you're gonna wanna pick a protein source and have one of those per meal. Then what you're gonna do is go ahead and pick, I would say, recommend, kind of make a meal out of it. So if you pick a protein source, once again, we'll go into this in my example. Let's say you pick, let's say you say ground turkey. You can make ground turkey burgers. You can make taco bowls. You could make ground turkey like pasta with marinara sauce. Like there's a variety of meals to make with the protein source, but we wanna make sure we pick that protein source first to determine, okay, are we gonna hit our 160 grams of protein per day? If we do, boom, then we can go ahead and create the meals around those based on your preferences, what you enjoy, what you have access to, and the kind of foods and meals that you like. And then once you have your proteins picked out per meal, so you have your protein goal being hit, you can basically use the rest of your calories to make meals around those protein sources. So like we mentioned, go ahead, maybe pick a carb source, pick a fat source, add some fruits and vegetables, and create each kind of meal or snack into a complete meal that you enjoy on a daily basis, or you assume you would enjoy, right? Because you can always adjust things later on. Then the big thing there is, once again, go ahead, enter those into MyFitnessPal or whatever tracking app you use and see, okay, is my calorie goal being hit? Are my protein minimums, my fat minimums being hit as well? And you can make some small adjustments, maybe adjust the amount of carbs for some of your meals, or if you're low on fat, maybe add some avocado or some peanut butter into some of your meals. And then you can determine, okay, what is my actual whole day gonna look like? And then you can plan it out, you can prep ahead of time, you can go ahead, grocery shop, eat, and then evaluate how that meal plan went and make some adjustments. But real quick, I'm gonna go through, once again, a sample at 2,000 calories and 170 grams of protein. So that's gonna be someone, once again, maybe in that 200-pound range, who actually would probably be pretty lean, around 170 to 180. So that's gonna be someone, once again, eating around 2,000 calories is a kind of a rough estimate, and 170 grams of protein, I think, is very typical for someone who is, once again, maybe trying to lose some fat and get in a little bit better shape. So for breakfast, I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna go with some eggs and egg whites. So as far as our protein sources go in the morning, I decide to go with eggs and egg whites. Once again, not that you can only eat eggs in the morning, but I feel like most of the time people do eat eggs in the morning, so we're gonna go with that. Then we're gonna add 2 pieces of toast and half an avocado. So in terms of the carbs in the morning, I wanna make something easy. Throw 2 pieces of bread in the toaster, toast those up, and you're gonna take half of an avocado and make some avocado toast. If you wanna add a little bit of salt and pepper on there as well, go for it. But that meal would end up being about 449 calories and 40 grams of protein. Next, for lunch, we're gonna do turkey bowls. So this is something that I actually used to do on my old job. Oh, I also forgot to mention. So yeah, as I mentioned, the person is 2,000 calories, 170 grams of protein, and then 4 different meals. So we're gonna do 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as a pre-workout snack. So I'm gonna base this off of someone who works a 9 to 5. They're gonna have breakfast before they go to work, lunch around, once again, 11 o'clock or noon, a pre-workout snack, maybe closer to the end of their workday before they head to the gym, and then dinner after their workout in the evening with their family, something like that. So without further ado, we had our breakfast, which is gonna be the eggs, egg whites, our avocado, and our bread, or our toast. Then for lunch, we're gonna do turkey bowls. And I think these are relatively easy to meal prep. You can kind of cook it in batches. So it's gonna be some ground turkey, 6 ounces to be exact. We're gonna do 1 cup of rice. Once again, this could be really any kind of rice you want: white rice, brown rice, microwave ready rice, Spanish rice, whatever that is. For your preference. We're gonna do some frozen veggies. So this can be sauteed in a pan. You can do a bell pepper and onion mix is what I recommend for a taco bowl. We're gonna have some salsa. We're gonna have a serving of cheddar cheese, 28 grams to be exact, as well as some taco seasoning to actually add into our ground turkey when we make that. So that second meal would come out to be 622 calories and 48 grams of protein. So once again, as you can see, we have quite a bit of protein in that second meal, mostly coming from the ground turkey, but as well as a little bit in the cheese as well. And then meal 3, or our snack before we go to the gym, it's gonna be something super simple, because once again, at the end of the workday, we just wanna have something maybe on our way to the gym, or maybe an hour before we're done with our workday. It's gonna be a simple protein shake. This could be a ready to drink protein shake. This could be simply a protein powder mixed with some almond milk. That's what I actually have in here. So we're gonna do a scoop of protein, mixed with 1 cup of almond milk. Then we're gonna do a banana as well as a Rice Krispie treat. So a little bit of carbs, once again, a nice sweet treat to say, hey, if you're gonna go to the gym today, you get a little bit of kind of like a sweet treat in the form of the Rice Krispie treat, as well as some carbs in the banana for a nice pump, and obviously some protein as well. That meal comes out to be 345 calories and then 30 grams of protein for our pre-workout snack. Then you're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna get home, shower, change, hang out with the family, whatever that looks like. And then for dinner, once again, you have some variety, but I decided to go with something that I personally enjoy, which is gonna be some salmon. It's gonna be 6 ounces of salmon. It's gonna be a little bit of broccoli. It's gonna be some air fried potatoes, as well as a little bit of teriyaki sauce. So for me, I like to basically air fry my salmon, and when I do so, I like to add a glaze or a sauce on top. In this case, we're going with a tablespoon of teriyaki sauce across the top of the salmon. And then for dessert, we're gonna go with 1 serving of Halo Top ice cream. So that's gonna be about 100 calories of Halo Top, which is about 1/3 of a pint, which is plenty for, once again, my sweet tooth that I always have. And that fourth and final meal is going to end up being 583 calories and 51 grams of protein. Protein coming from, once again, the salmon, a little bit in the potatoes, a little bit in the broccoli, as well as, once again, Halo Top being a high protein ice cream. And that's going to bring our day total to, let's see here, oops. And with all of those meals, those 4 meals we have, it is exactly 2,000 calories with 170 grams of protein and 65 grams of fat. So as far as things go, we are right on point with our calories. We are right on point with our protein. Once again, I would say 160, 170 is probably a good goal for someone in that situation. And then 65 grams of fat, which is way more than the, once again, the probably 40 to 50 that we'd want to see. So that's pretty much how I went ahead and made that. And this was not perfect. I entered in my protein sources first. I entered in a different amount of rice, potatoes, teriyaki sauce, salsa, cheese. And I basically played around with each meal a little bit to say, okay, hey, let me go ahead. I want to add a little bit more potatoes to my last meal. Let's go ahead and go with slightly less toast in the morning. So instead of like 3 pieces of toast, you can go with 2 pieces of toast. And there's some variety there. But once again, the biggest thing is showing you how to go ahead and make it fit to your preferences. If you don't like salmon, don't eat salmon, eat cod, eat shrimp, eat a different protein source. So really the biggest thing there is the perfect meal plan is one that fits your life best while following a few key fundamentals as far as your calories, your protein, and I would say, once again, your minimum fat goals. If you have those 3, as well as mostly whole foods in the diet, you're gonna do a really good job of, once again, having a diet that's gonna work for you, as well as get you to where you wanna be in terms of results. But any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Once again, there's no perfect meal plan, but there is a great meal plan that you can make for yourself following a few key fundamentals. And hopefully I was able to walk through some of those fundamentals and the steps I typically use with myself as well as my clients. But any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Otherwise, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested in coaching, I also do have a link below to fill that out if you're interested in working with me one-on-one. But yeah, without further ado, talk to you guys soon. Peace.